Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are going deep on IOTA Rebase. Imagine a world where your fridge orders groceries before you even run out.
Or your car just pays for parking seamlessly without you lifting a finger.
I mean, that is the future that IoT is building, and we are going to break down exactly how they plan to get there.
Well, IOTA is really all about bringing that power of blockchain to the real world. Think smart cities,
Connected devices.
secure data sharing. That is the kind of playing field that IoT is operating on.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't like total blockchain experts, can you give us like a quick elevator pitch on IOTA? What makes it different?
Sure. So IoT uses a unique technology called the Tangle, and that is different from your typical blockchain. It's actually designed to be super scalable and efficient, handling tons of transactions from all those connected devices I was talking about without breaking a sweat.
So picture a highway, and the more cars get on the highway, the wider and faster it gets. That's kind of like the tangle, right?
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Build for a future where billions of devices are all talking to each other.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about this IoT rebase, because it sounds like a pretty major overhaul.
Yeah.
So what is the, driving force behind it?
Well, the crypto landscape is always constantly evolving, and IOTA recognized that it needed to adapt to stay at the forefront. And one of the biggest trends is the demand for smart contracts.
Ah, smart contract.
Yeah. So those are essentially self-executing agreements that can automate all these complex processes. You can almost think of them like a digital vending machine, but for anything you can imagine.
Okay, so IOTA is essentially getting a massive upgrade. It's adding this whole new layer of functionality with these smart contracts. But I feel like a lot of blockchains are doing that right now. What sets IOTA Rebase apart?
You're right. Smart contracts aren't new, but IOTA's approach is very unique. So they've chosen to integrate a specific type of virtual machine called the Move VM. And you might be wondering why they didn't just go with, say, the Ethereum virtual machine, which is much more common.
Yeah, why not just follow the crowd?
Well, IoT's philosophy is choosing the best tool for the job, not just the trendiest one. And Move VM is known for its security and especially its efficiency when it comes to dealing with real-world assets. It's kind of like building a house, right? You want the strongest foundation possible, not just the most popular style.
Okay, so IOTA is laying this really solid foundation with the Move VM. But how does that translate into, real benefits for everyday users?
Okay. Imagine knowing exactly where your food came from, how it was handled, and that its organic label is actually legitimate. Or think about securely managing your health records, only sharing the data you choose with your doctor. So that's the kind of real-world problems that IOTA can tackle with MoveVM.
So it's about bringing trust and transparency to the physical world,
Exactly.
using the power of blockchain to verify information and automate processes.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How exactly does IOTA Rebase make all of this happen?
Well, you can think of it like this. IOTA Rebase is really a strategic leap forward. So they actually had a choice. They could integrate Move VM into their existing system, and that would have taken a lot of time and effort. Or they could create a brand new, streamlined platform that is built specifically for Move VM.
And they decided to.
Yeah, went for the fast track.
So they just decided to rip off the Band-Aid and just go for some
Yeah.
full impact.
Yeah, it's basically saying, we're not just adding a new feature, we're building the ultimate machine.
It's a pretty bold move. Now I'm dying to know, what does this new IOTA network actually look like? What are the key features that make it stand out?
One of the most significant features is full decentralization. The new IOTA network will be governed by a delegated proof-of-stake system, or DPoS, which means those who hold IOTA tokens actually have a say in how the network operates. It's kind of like a democracy where your vote is proportional to your stake in the system.
That's huge, especially in the world of crypto, where decentralization is often a core value. You're giving the power back to the community.
Exactly. And to incentivize people to participate and really secure the network, IOTA Rebase introduces staking rewards. So imagine earning interest on your IOTA holdings just by helping to keep the network running smoothly.
Like you're putting your money to work. Earning rewards while supporting a technology that you believe in.
Exactly. And that's not all. IOTA Rebase also has this fee-burning mechanism where a portion of the transaction fees is permanently destroyed.
Wait, so they are actually reducing the total supply of IOTA over time?
Yes, exactly. And this could potentially make IOTA tokens more valuable in the long run, similar to how a limited edition item becomes more sought after as its supply decreases.
So, it's not just about earning rewards, it's about the potential for the token itself to go up in value.
Right. But perhaps the most exciting features are the performance enhancements. So we're talking sub-second transaction finality, meaning transactions are confirmed almost instantly. And incredible scalability, capable of handling massive transaction volumes. This is super crucial for real-world applications where speed and efficiency are absolutely paramount.
So IOTA Rebase is laying this groundwork for a future where transactions just happen seamlessly,
Yeah.
effortlessly, whether you're buying a cup of coffee or tracking a shipment across, continents. It's about making blockchain technology work for the everyday person, not just the, tech-savvy few.
Exactly. It's about making blockchain technology almost invisible,
Mhm.
integrated into the fabric of our lives in a way that we don't even notice it's there.
That's a really powerful vision. But let's be real, the crypto world is full of projects that, overpromise.
Yeah.
What makes IOTA Rebase different? What makes you think that they can actually deliver?
Well, IOTA has this proven track record of innovation, and they have a really strong community behind them. They've already partnered with major players like Dell Technologies and Jaguar Land Rover, which really demonstrates that real-world potential of this technology.
So they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
Exactly. And they're incredibly transparent about the development process. Inviting the community to participate and contribute. It's not just a company building a product. It's really like a movement that's building the future.
I'm definitely intrigued. But before we get too carried away with, all the hype, I want to make sure our listeners understand the bigger picture. What does IOTA Rebase actually mean for the future of IOTA? Like, where do they go from here?
Well, IOTA is envisioning this dual-layered ecosystem, and that's where both the Ethereum virtual machine and the Move VM can coexist, so it's offering developers and users the best of both worlds. And that means IOTA could actually become a hub for this vast array of applications, from decentralized finance to supply chain management to identity solutions and beyond.
So it's not just about one specific use case, it's about creating this platform that can support a whole ecosystem of innovation.
Yeah.
It's like building a city, not just a single building.
That's a great analogy. And within that city, on the Move VM layer specifically, IOTA is really focusing on areas where they have a unique advantage, like tokenizing real-world assets.
Tokenizing real-world assets.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of like a mouthful. What does that even mean?
So think of it like this. Taking something physical, like a piece of art,
Right?
or a real estate property, and creating a digital representation of it on the blockchain.
Uh-huh.
So this digital token can then be bought, sold, and traded just like any other cryptocurrency, which makes it much easier to invest in and manage these assets.
So IOTA could revolutionize the way we own and trade. I mean, everything from fine art to real estate.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
They're also exploring these innovative decentralized finance applications like on-chain order books for trading and collateralized lending platforms.
On-chain order books, what is that?
Yeah, so traditional order books, which basically match buyers and sellers for stocks or other assets, are usually managed by centralized exchanges, and that creates some vulnerabilities and it can be inefficient. On-chain order books, on the other hand, live entirely on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes the trading much more transparent, secure, and really accessible to anyone.
So IOTA could disrupt the way we think about trading and investing, cut out the middleman, create this more level playing field.
That's the vision. And this is just the beginning. IOTA Rebase is really laying the foundation for a future where the possibilities are pretty much limitless.
I'm officially on board the IOTA train. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I have a question for our listeners. Think about a problem in your own life, something that's frustrating or seems overly complicated. Now imagine how a technology like IOTA, connecting the physical and digital worlds, could potentially solve that problem. We'll explore some concrete examples in our next part, but let that idea simmer. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started.
I can't wait to dive into those real-world applications with you. It's been fascinating talking about the technical side of IOTA Rebase.
Yeah.
But I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the human element of it all. I mean, this wasn't just some top-down decision by a tech company.
Right.
IOTA Rebase was really shaped by this vibrant and passionate community.
The heart and soul of any open source project.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit more about how the community was involved in making this thing happen.
Yeah, so the IOTA community has always been known for being super active and really willing to roll up their sleeves perspectives and get involved.
Yeah.
And from those early brainstorming sessions to the rigorous testing phases, the community played a crucial role in shaping where IoT Rebase went.
So it was a true collaboration.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a company dictating terms from some ivory tower.
Exactly. The IOTA Foundation really recognized how important it was to involve the community every step of the way. They held tons of online forums, Q&A sessions, workshops, just to gather feedback, address concerns, and really make sure that IoT Rebase was aligned with the community's vision for IOTA.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you often see these projects develop behind closed doors with very little input from the people who are actually going to be using the technology.
Yeah, and IOTA takes a very different approach.
Yeah.
They understand that the strength of a decentralized project really lies in its community.
Right.
And so they encouraged community members to participate in testing, run their own nodes, and give feedback on the user experience.
So it's not just about building the technology, it's about creating that sense of ownership.
Yeah,
Shared purpose.
exactly. And that shared purpose is a big reason why IoT Rebase is generating so much excitement right now.
Yeah.
It's not just a technical upgrade, it's a community-driven evolution.
I love that. But let's be honest, change can be scary,
It can.
especially in the crypto world where people have very strong opinions and sometimes things get a little bit heated. Were there any challenges or any pushback from the community during this transition to IOTA Rebase?
Of course. I mean, any significant change is going to raise questions and concerns.
Sure.
Some community members were initially hesitant about moving away from the original vision of Coordicide,
Uh-huh.
which involved completely removing the coordinator from the network.
Right.
And others had questions about the technical details of the Move VM and how it would integrate with the existing IOTA ecosystem.
So it wasn't all smooth sailing.
Change rarely is, especially when you're dealing with this complex technology.
Yeah.
But the IOTA Foundation really addressed these concerns head on.
Okay.
They were super open and transparent with their communication.
Good.
They had tons of Q&A sessions, published these detailed blog posts explaining why they were making these changes, and they actively engaged with the community on social media and forums.
So they didn't shy away from those tough questions.
Not at all. They embraced the dialogue, and they understood how important it was to keep the community informed and involved.
Yeah.
And that commitment to transparency really helped to build trust, even amongst those who had some initial doubts.
That's awesome. So it sounds like they navigated those challenges with grace and authenticity.
I think so.
But ultimately, how did the community respond to IOTA Rebase once it was launched?
Well, the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
That's great.
People are really excited about the potential of IoT Rebase to accelerate adoption, unlock all these new use cases, and solidify IoT's position as a leading platform for the Internet of Things and beyond.
Awesome.
The testnet has been buzzing with activity, with developers eager to explore what they can do with Move VM and experiment with building all these cool new applications.
So there's a sense of optimism,
Yeah,
real momentum surrounding IOTA Rebase.
absolutely. I think the community recognizes that IoT Rebase is a bold step forward.
Yeah.
It allows IOTA to compete effectively in this rapidly evolving world of blockchain tech while staying true to its core vision of connecting the physical and digital worlds.
Okay, so we've talked about the community's role in shaping IOTA Rebase.
Oh,
Now, let's talk about the more practical implications of all of this.
Sure.
We've heard about all the potential benefits.
yeah.
But how will these changes actually impact developers and users in the real world?
Well, for developers, the integration of smart contracts just opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Uh-huh.
They can now use the power of Move VM to build these sophisticated, decentralized applications that just weren't possible on IOTA before. You can think of it as giving developers a brand new set of tools
Yeah.
to create even more innovative solutions.
So what about everyday users?
Yeah.
How is IoT Rebase going to impact their experience?
Well, one of the most noticeable improvements is going to be faster transaction times and lower fees.
Okay, cool.
Users will also have access to a wider range of services and solutions as the IOTA ecosystem grows, and more applications are built on the network.
So it's a more seamless,
Yeah.
more cost-effective experience for everybody.
For sure.
Now, what about existing IOTA users? Are they going to have to like jump through a bunch of hoops to adapt to these changes?
Well, the IOTA Foundation has really gone to great lengths to ensure a smooth transition.
Okay.
They've provided clear instructions and resources to help users migrate their tokens and wallets to the new Rebase network.
Yeah.
They've even set up a dedicated support team to assist users with any questions or issues they might encounter.
So they're not leaving anybody behind.
Not at all.
Okay.
They're committed to supporting all members of the community throughout this entire transition.
Okay, so we've covered the community response, the practical implications for developers and users,
Yeah.
the smooth transition process.
Yeah.
Now let's zoom out a little bit and talk about the long-term vision.
Okay.
What does IOTA Rebase really mean for the future of IOTA?
I think IoT Rebase is a significant step towards realizing IoT's full potential as a leading platform for the Internet of Things, data-driven economies, and a more decentralized future. It's laying the groundwork for a world where devices, data, and people are all seamlessly connected, creating a more efficient, transparent, and equitable world.
So it's not just a one-off upgrade.
Right.
This is like a foundational shift.
Exactly.
So what specific areas do you see IOTA focusing on in the coming years as they build on this new foundation?
Well, I think we'll see a lot of effort put into developing even more user-friendly tools and frameworks for developers.
Okay.
This will empower the community to build even more innovative and impactful applications that can take advantage of the unique capabilities of the Tangle and the Move VM.
So they're focusing on making it even easier for developers to create amazing things.
Exactly. And we can also expect to see significant progress in the area of interoperability.
Okay.
IOTA has already shown its commitment to interoperability through its integration with the EVM. And I anticipate further efforts to build the gap between IOTA and other blockchain ecosystems.
I mean, that's an important point. In a world with so many different blockchain platforms, interoperability is key to unlocking the true potential of this whole decentralized technology movement.
Absolutely. And IOTA is at the forefront of this movement toward a more interconnected and collaborative blockchain landscape.
Yeah.
They understand that the future of decentralized tech is not about competition, it's about cooperation and shared progress.
It's really inspiring to see a project with such a clear vision for the future and a strong commitment to working together to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
But we've talked a lot about potential and future possibilities.
Right.
Can you give us some concrete examples of how IoT is already being used to solve real-world problems today?
Yeah, so IoT is already making a tangible difference in a lot of different industries.
Okay.
And one notable example is in supply chain management.
Mhm.
As we discussed earlier, IoT's unique Tangle architecture and the integration of Move VM make it ideal for tracking and tracing goods throughout these complex supply chains.
So we're not just talking about theory here.
Yep.
There are actual companies using IOTA right now to improve their operations.
Exactly. For example, a company called TIP is using IOTA to track the movement of goods in the train logistics industry. This allows for real-time monitoring of shipments, ensuring transparency, efficiency, and accountability throughout that whole supply chain.
That's a fantastic example.
Yeah.
What other industries are seeing these real-world applications of IOTA?
Another area where IoT is gaining a lot of traction is in e-health.
Okay.
So its secure and scalable platform is perfect for managing all of that sensitive healthcare data,
Right.
enabling secure data sharing between healthcare providers, patients, and researchers.
So IOTA could potentially revolutionize healthcare data management, improve patient care, accelerate medical research. And it sounds like IOTA's technology is being used to address these real challenges and make a positive impact.
It really is, and it's incredibly rewarding to see that real-world impact, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
As the IoT ecosystem grows, we can expect even more innovative and impactful applications to emerge.
I'm definitely eager to see what the future holds for IOTA.
Me too.
But before we wrap up this part of our discussion, I want to touch on a topic that's often overlooked when talking about blockchain technology, and that's sustainability.
Okay.
With growing concerns about the environmental impact of cryptocurrencies, how does IOTA approach this issue?
That's a really important question, and one that the IOTA Foundation takes very seriously.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of blockchain platforms that rely on these energy-intensive proof-of-work consensus mechanisms, IOTA actually uses a feeless and energy-efficient approach.
So IoT is a more environmentally friendly alternative.
It's designed to be. The Tangle's unique architecture allows for these really lightweight transactions that consume very minimal energy, making it a much more sustainable choice for a wide range of applications. And on top of that, the IOTA Foundation is actively involved in research and development to further reduce the environmental impact of the network.
So they're prioritizing sustainability as blockchain technology evolves.
Absolutely. IOTA is really leading the way in showing that blockchain tech can be both innovative and environmentally responsible.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about the community's role in shaping IOTA Rebase, the practical implications for developers and users, and IOTA's long-term vision for a more connected and decentralized future.
Yeah.
We've also seen how IoT is already being used to address real-world problems today, from supply chain management to healthcare. And we've highlighted IOTA's commitment to sustainability.
For sure.
But there's one final piece of the puzzle I want to explore, and that's the broader implications of IOTA's vision.
Okay.
What are the potential ripple effects of a world where everyday objects are seamlessly connected, sharing data securely and efficiently?
Yeah.
That's what we'll delve into in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned. All right, so we've really gone deep on the tech behind IOTA Rebase, the incredible community that's driving it forward, and we've even gotten a taste of those real-world applications.
Do we have?
But now, I want to step back and consider, like, the truly big picture.
Okay.
What happens when this vision, this like seamlessly connected world, actually becomes reality?
Yeah.
What are the ripple effects that like we might not even be anticipating right now?
That's where things get really fascinating, right? Because IoT isn't just about making our lives a little bit more convenient. It's about fundamentally changing how we interact with data, with devices, and with each other.
Okay, so it's not just my fridge ordering milk before I run out. It's something like way bigger.
Think about it. What if every product that you bought had a digital twin on the IOTA Tangle, tracking its journey from raw materials, like all the way to your doorstep?
Okay.
You would know exactly where it came from, how it was made, and you would know for sure that it met certain ethical and sustainability standards.
I see what you're saying. It's like it goes way beyond convenience.
Right.
It's about transparency.
Exactly.
It's about accountability, but on a whole new level.
Yes. And that same principle applies to so many areas of our lives. Imagine secure medical records that you completely control, which are only shared with the healthcare providers that you choose.
Yeah.
Or a voting system that's virtually tamper-proof, built on that immutable record of the Tangle.
Those are some pretty powerful examples. But let's be real. A vision this big, this transformative, it doesn't just happen overnight. What are some of the hurdles that IoT might face in bringing this connected future to life?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges is just awareness and education.
Right.
You know, while IOTA has a very dedicated community, a lot of people are still unfamiliar with blockchain tech, you know, and its potential.
Yeah.
So it's not just about building the technology. It's about showing the world how it can be used to solve these really important problems and make our lives better.
So it's about getting that message out there.
Exactly.
Showing people why they should care about a decentralized future.
Yeah, and that requires really clear communication, collaborating with different industries, and showcasing those compelling use cases that we've been talking about.
That's a big task, but it's super crucial for mass adoption.
Yeah.
Are there any other obstacles that, that you think IOTA might encounter?
Well, I think navigating the regulatory landscape is a big one. I mean, crypto and blockchain are still pretty new, and regulations are changing constantly around the world.
For sure.
So IOTA needs to stay ahead of the curve to make sure they're in compliance and avoid any potential roadblocks.
So it's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about really understanding the legal and the political context that it's operating in.
Exactly. But the good news is that IOTA is actively engaging with policymakers and industry leaders to help shape that future of blockchain regulation. Yeah. They're not just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. They are actively trying to shape the conversation.
That's awesome. I mean, they're recognizing that innovation needs a supported environment to truly thrive. So let's shift gears for a second. We've talked a lot about like the big picture stuff, but for someone who is just hearing about IOTA, for the very first time, what's like the key takeaway here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I think, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, I would say IOTA is building a bridge between the digital world and the physical world. It's about connecting everything around us in a way that is secure, transparent, and efficient.
That's a great way to put it. It's not just another crypto project. It's really like a fundamental shift in how we think about data and the possibilities that it unlocks.
Exactly.
Okay, well said. Now, before we wrap up this like epic deep dive into IOTA Rebase, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
IOTA Rebase is clearly a major milestone.
It is.
But what's next? What's on the horizon? What are we looking forward to in this, IOTA universe?
Well, the full launch of the Rebase mainnet is coming up,
Yeah.
and that's expected in early 2025. And that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when all those innovative applications can really flourish.
Wow, so we are really on the cusp of a whole new era for IoT.
For sure. And beyond that, the IoT Foundation is constantly researching and developing, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with the Tangle. They are not content to just rest on their laurels.
No,
They are constantly striving to make the network even more secure, more scalable, more functional.
it's really amazing to see that level of dedication and ambition.
Yeah.
It's clear that IoT is a project with a long-term vision. They are committed to building a future that benefits, literally everyone.
And I think that's what makes IOTA so compelling. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about that potential to create a world that is more equitable, more transparent, more connected.
And that is a future worth getting excited about. To our listeners, we really hope this deep dive into IOTA Rebase has sparked your curiosity and given you a glimpse of what's possible. This world of decentralized tech, it's evolving so fast.
It is.
And IoT is at the forefront of that evolution. So keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring the world of IOTA with you.